The prize money has been the same for the last 10 years. What do you think about racing for 2 days, 171 miles for 70,000?
Well, that's not good, it's bad sports. We race with heart out, 3 stages, and you get nothing. That's chunk change. You got a whole team, you gotta divide the money between, and that's not enough, it's a little bit. We race our heart out just for that, and it's not good, really.
The race is organized by the Ghana Cycling Federation, the GCF, and over the years it has gotten significant support from the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. Prior to this edition, the event was last held in 2016. GCF President Lyndon Dorrit said the prize structure is based on what the sponsorship could facilitate.
Yeah, like I said, you mentioned this is the premier cycling event, but the other events like the Ounce of Gold race, we race for 1 day and you get like $250,000. This race here, you race for 3 stages, 171 miles, but you get 70,000. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's the culture or the history behind it, but that's just how. I came to the ranks, and it was like that since then. Everybody would like to win the 3 stage.
Yeah, but shouldn't there be a more incentive than 70,000 for winning the premier sports cycling event?
That is dependent on what the sponsorship could facilitate. All right. So
but that has been for the past 10 years.
I am not in a position to answer to that.
Sorry?
I don't know. I can't say.
Would you agree, though, hopefully with more corporate support, you would hope in the next 3 stage that you guys can get more than 7,000 for its price?
This 3 stage has always been, since its birth 30 odd years ago, has always been a youth and culture thing. And we would like it to remain that way. We will do and try to do other events and have corporate Ghana on board. But we like this to remain as it is, a youth and culture event.
The cash prizes for 2nd to 6th range from $60,000 to $25,000 in the seniors category. The top prize for masters, female and juniors is $50,000, while a stage winner pockets $15,000. Sports Minister Charles Ramson Jr. indicated that the ministry is a core funder of the event, but not the sole funder.
Core funding comes from the ministry, but it's not the sole funding, right? So what has happened over the last year and a bit is that maybe a year and a half or so is that companies have been far more tight with their budget. So the revenue isn't as high. So one of the first things that people do when their revenue is a little bit is less on businesses or individuals is that they spend less on advertising. So once they spend less on advertising, it means that events such as this also go on the chopping board. So we want to make sure that the event happens. That's the first thing. But then that's when a lot of these associations, they get to have the springboard and the leverage to go into companies to say, look, we think this event is going to happen. This is a ministry that is going to be, or the ministry is going to be sponsoring this. So it means that there's already that government participation in there. And it would be a good look for them to be sponsoring as well as partnering with the ministry. We've been having that conversation with a lot of the companies already because we want to let them know that, developing the country is really about developing the people. The building and the infrastructure work, all of that is going to happen. It's going to happen regardless. The government is going to do some of that. The private sector is going to do some of that. Individuals are going to do some of that. But the building of the people is about building talents, and it's about building cooperation, and it's about building the kind of qualities that we need that sport brings. Sport and also what's connected to culture.
This 3-stage race would usually start with the first leg being from Corriverton to New Amsterdam, followed by Rossignol to Carifest Avenue in Georgetown on the same day. The next morning, cyclists would race from Caracara on the Linden-Sussex Highway to Georgetown. For the newsroom, Akim Green.